Hello kids, I am Rowena D. Siso. Welcome to another video lesson in Mathematics 5, Quarter 3, Module 5, Solid Figures 3D. What I need to know. This module contains one lesson. Lesson 5, Visualizing and Describing Solid Figures. After going through this module, you are expected to number 1, visualize and describe solid figures. Number 2, make models of different solid figures. Cube, prism, pyramid, cylinder, cone, and sphere using plane figures.
What I know, directions. Read each item carefully and circle the letter of your correct answer. Number 1. What do you call an object with three-dimensional figure? A. Vertex, B. Edges, C. Solid figures, D. Polygons. If your answer is C, you got the correct answer. Number 2. Which of the following is a cylinder? A. Has 6 equal square-shaped sides. B. Has only one base. The other faces are triangle which meet at a common vertex. C. Has parallel circular base connected by a curved surface. D. Has a set of points that are the same distance to a given point. Okay, the correct answer is letter C, has parallel circular base connected by a curved surface. Number 3, what is characteristics of the solid figure at the right? A, has 6 equal square-shaped sides. B, has only one base. The other faces are triangles which meet at a common vertex. C, has parallel circular base connected by a curved surface. D, a set of points that are the same distance to a given point. So what is the solid figure at the right? Okay, the answer is letter A, has 6 equal square-shaped sides because it is a cube. Number 4, a globe is an example of what solid figure? A, cylinder, B, cone, C, sphere, D, pyramid. Okay, the correct answer is letter C, sphere. Number 5, a Boy Scout wanted to show to his fellow Scouters the figure of the Earth. Which solid figure will he use? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, the correct answer is letter C, ball. Number 6, try to look at the figure. This is the net for a blank. A, cone, B, pyramid, C, cube, D, sphere. Okay, the correct letter is letter B, pyramid. Number 7, we can identify a solid figure through net. The word net in the sentence refers to A, take-home pay, B, an object used to catch a fish, C, all the surface of a solid figure, D, an online movie application. If your answer is C, you got the correct answer, all the surface of a solid figure. Number 8, what solid figure can be formed this given net? Try to look at the figure at the right. A, cone, B, pyramid, C, cube, D, sphere. Okay, if your answer is C, you got the correct answer. Number 9, a solid with a circular base connected by a curved surface to a single vertex. Try to look at the illustration. Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Number 10, why is it important to study solid figures? A, so that we can get good grades. B, because it's part of our daily life and we use them every day. C, because we see them in the module. D, so the teachers will have something to check. Okay, the correct answer is letter B. So you should study solid figures because it is part of our daily life and we use them every day. Let's go what's in activity 1, remember me. Try to remember our lessons about polygons, directions. Identify the following polygons. For number 1, it is a 6-sided polygon. What do you call that one? Number 2, a 5-sided polygon. Number 3, 4-sided polygon. Number 4, 7-sided polygon. And number 5, 8-sided polygon. Write your answer on the blank. What's new? Activity 2, match me. Directions. Match the following objects with the solid figures. Try to look at the object, then match it the solid figures in A, B, C, D, or E. Then write the letter on the blank before the number. What is it? Different solid figures. Definition. Solid figures are three-dimensional figures. Facts and characteristics. Solid figures has length, width, and height. They may have faces, edges, and vertices. A face is the flat surface of a solid figure. An edge is formed when two faces meet. It is a straight line segment. A vertex, plural vertices, is a point where edges meet. Solid figures are either polyhedron or non-polyhedron. A solid is a polyhedron if all its faces are polygons. Otherwise, it is a non-polyhedron. Different solid figures. A polyhedron. Number 1, cube. A cube has 6 equal square-shaped sides. Cubes also have 8 vertices, corners, and 12 edges, all the same length. The angles in a cube are all right angles. So, dili na siya angles ha, angles na siya na mali ang module. Number 2, prism. A prism is made up of two parallel and congruent bases which can be any polygon. A prism is named the shape of its base. If the base is a triangle, it is called a triangular prism. If it is a pentagon, it is called a pentagonal prism. So try to look at the illustration. Number 3, pyramid. A pyramid has only one base, which can also be any polygon. The other faces are triangles which meet at a common vertex. A pyramid is also named after the shape of its base. The base is a square, we call it square pyramid. If the base is a triangle, let's call it triangular pyramid. Letter B, non-polyhedron. Number 1, cylinder is a solid with congruent parallel circular bases connected by a curved surface. Illustration is at the right side. Number 2, cone is a solid with a circular base connected by a curved surface to a single vertex. Try to look at the illustration. Number 3, sphere is a set of points spaced that are the same distance from a given point. A sphere has no faces, edges, or vertices. Try to look at the illustration. Making models of the different solid figures. To make a solid figure, we have to make a net. A net is all the surfaces of a solid figure laid out flat. These are the following nets of the solid figure. Try to look at the illustration for the net of a cube, prism, and pyramid. Try to look at also the nets of a cylinder, cone, and sphere. Let's go now. What's more? Activity 3. Directions. Identify the solid figure of the given net. Write it on the space provided for. For number 1, what do you call that given net? Then write the name of the solid figure. Also number 2, what do you call that given net? So what is the solid figure of that? Number 3, try to look at the net. Then identify the solid figure. For number 4, what do you call that given net? Then identify the solid figure. And also for number 5. Then write your answer on the space provided for. What I have learned. Activity 4. Directions. Complete the table below. The table has a name, definition, net, and the solid figure. Number 1. Cube has a 6 equal square-shaped sides. There is already a net, so you will draw for number 1 the solid figure of a cube. Number 2, pyramid has only one base, which can also be any polygon. So there is already a solid figure, and the unknown is the net for the pyramid. Number 3, cylinder. What is the definition of a cylinder? Put it for number 3. There is already the net and a solid figure. For number 4, what do you call the solid figure that has a solid with a circular base connected by a curved surface to a single vertex? There is already a net and a solid figure, so what do you call that solid figure? For number 5, sphere. What is the definition for sphere? You write it for number 5. There is already a net, then you draw also the solid figure of a sphere. What I can do. Activity 5, directions. Identify the following solid figures. For number 1, try to look at the object, then identify the solid figures. It's a billiard ball. For number 2, it's a tent. So what do you call that solid figures of that tent? For number 3, I think it is a box. So what do you call that solid figures? For number 4, try to look at it is a ice cream cone. What do you call that solid figure? Then write it on the blank. For number 5, it is a can. What do you call that solid figure? Then write it for number 5. Assessment directions. Encircle the letter of the correct answer. Number 1, figures that has length, width, and height is called blank. A, vertex. B, solid figures. C, edges. D, polygon. Choose what letter is the correct answer. Then encircle the letter. Number 2, which of the following is a cube? A has 6 equal square-shaped sides. B has only one base. The other faces are triangles which meet at a common vertex. C has parallel circular base connected by a curved surface. D has a set of points that are the same distance to a given point. Choose the letter, then encircle the letter of your answer. Number 3, describe the given solid figure at the right. A has 6 equal square-shaped sides. B has only one base. The other faces are triangles which meet at a common vertex. C has parallel circular base connected by a curved surface. D has a set of points that are the same distance to a given point. Encircle the letter of your answer. Number 4, a party hat is an example of what solid figure? A, cylinder. B, cone. C, sphere. D, pyramid. Try to encircle the letter of your answer. Number 5, a Boy Scout is sleepy after a long walk. Which solid figure would he want to lie down to? Is it A, B, C, or D? Choose your answer, then encircle the letter. For number 6, this is the net for a blank. Try to look at the net at the right side. A, cone. B, pyramid. C, cube. D, sphere. Then encircle the letter. Number 7, in naming a pyramid or a prism, you must consider the shape of blank. A, faces and vertices. B, vertices and lines. C, faces and bases. D, edges and apex. Try to look at the or choose a letter, then encircle. For number 8, what kind of base can be formed using the given net at the right side? A, circular base. B, triangular base. C, rectangular base. D, square base. Choose the letter, then encircle. Number 9, which has two parallel circular bases and a curved surface? Is it net A, B, C, or D? Then choose the letter, encircle it for your answer. Number 10, why is it important to study solid figures? A, so that we can get Good grades? B, because it's part of our daily life and we use them every day. C, because we see them in the module. D, so the teachers will have something to check. Choose what is your answer, then encircle the letter. Additional activities. Write 5 objects that you see in your house and identify its solid figure. So write or identify 5 objects in your house, then identify what kind of solid figure of that object. Thank you for watching. This is Rowena Disiso. I hope you understand my lesson. Thank you and God bless us all.